So, welcome along everyone. I'm Sammy from Mex Property and this is episode 6 of the Property Plug. We've got a new name now. We finally found out what we're about. So we're called the Property Plug. We sort things out and I'm with the lovely Melissa. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? Get the right camera.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. I'm starting to grow this podcast, and we're episode 6 now, so we're growing and growing. We're actually episode 5, to be honest. So I've got that wrong twice today. So we're looking to interview and talk to people like yourself who are involved with property and discuss their journey, how they got there, what they're doing, and also try and generate some business for you guys from the followers that we've got. And when they listen to your stuff, they're like, I need that. So
absolutely, everyone needs property staging.
Well, I don't disagree. Like I said before, we met at that TDN, which is Shane Trainer's networking event in the Edgbaston Golf Club, and last Tuesday every month.
And Steve, yeah.
And Steve Hammond, yeah. So they're doing it together, and we were chatting about. You came over to me actually. You came to me and said, "I need to speak to you." I remember that. Yeah. You've got some great case studies, I think, in the background of how you've worked with other agents, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you were like, I was like, I actually really love staging. We've done lots of virtual staging, and it's always worked where the vendors paid a bit of money, get some photos, put some gear in it online, and then start the viewings. And in that crazy market for the last 2 years, it was easy.
Yes.
You know, you just get them to the door, and it's the house is going to sell. The market's turned a bit now.
Yeah.
And I guess people should
Different
be people should be looking at like the actual real life staging, because they can't visualise it when they're in the house, can they? Crazy.
93% of people can't see past what's there. So whether that's the swirly whirly carpets or an empty room, or can't even visualise a double bed that would fit in a double room, for example. So yeah, it's crazy.
I've had myself lying down on the floor, in houses, just to prove to people you can fit a double bed
and rolling.
I'm just under 5'10", well, a bit much, but I can assure you can fit a double bed in this room. And the thing is, if you've got the real furniture in there, you can see it. And you said 93%. Imagine if you can't visualise it with your stuff in there. I've seen the photos of what you've done. I know there's some great case studies. It just makes things sell, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It makes a huge difference.
It's the wrong way to say it. Like, those 93% of people, a little bit like, what's wrong with them? Like, why can't I visualise it? Maybe I have my background in property for so many years, I can just see everything. But some people just they don't know, do they? I guess. So how did you get here then? How did you get to this podcast? No, I'm joking, not the podcast. How did you get to property staging? Where did that come from?
It's crazy, really. I kind of fell into it. My background's psychology. So I worked NHS and in research for years and went into teaching, which I absolutely loved. It was my passion. Property's always been my other passion. So, whatever house I'd have, or, with friends or whatever, I'd be the one there with my sledgehammer demolishing it and, visualising what I could do.
With your pink hat and your pink high vis?
Yellow hat, yellow high vis. Yeah, I'm very much more of a male than I am a female. Give me a screwdriver and a drill any day over cooking. Yeah, my culinary skills are atrocious, but at DIY I'm all right at. We bought a house which turned from a 3-bed to a 4-bed. Very long story, but basically went through hell with it. Completely renovated, had 2 extensions, got completely screwed over by the builder. Tried to get solicitors involved. They put themselves into liquidation to avoid any accountability. We lost thousands. And it was through that then that our quantity surveyor had recommended decent tradespeople to me. So I was project managing all of that whilst raising a 6-month-old little girl, a 2.5-year-old little boy. We had a house with no back to it. They'd left us incomplete.
Shit.
Yeah, basically. And it was through these decent tradespeople that started to put the property right, who said to me, why on earth are you not doing this as a job? And it was the interiors of my house. And I was like, don't be daft, this is just a love that I've got, it's just a passion. They were like, Melissa, no, you need to be doing this. And this was 2 separate individuals, decorator and electrician. And it was kind of through word of mouth then that I got my first job. And somebody called me saying, oh, do you dress properties? And I was like, yes, of course I do. Thinking,
never say no.
Never say no.
Yeah,
no.
Like
and I was like, yeah. And I was thinking, well, I've got loads of furniture still in storage. I'll use that. And so I did, and that's how I got my first job. And it was from that then and word of mouth that I started to get other jobs. And I thought, I'm onto something here. I'm doing something that I absolutely love. I can do it around my children.
And you're getting paid.
And I'm getting paid for it, yeah. And I'm not having to...
And you're making people happy as well.
Yes, and I'm getting to meet wonderful people in an area that, you know, I'm also passionate about. And I don't have to go back into teaching, which is, you know, ultimately what I did love, but I'd never see my children the way that I do now if I did that. And, you know, I gave all that up to raise my kids, and I was desperate to get back into some sort of work. So, yeah, that's how I kind of fell into it, really.
With property, the passion, obviously you've obviously got passion.
Yeah.
You're good at it and you love it. And if you do those things together, it's a match made in heaven, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think people, they've either got that passion for property or not.
Yeah.
Some people will just get a contractor, do the work and not care.
Yeah.
People like yourself and people like me, I love property.
Yeah,
I go into houses every single day of my life.
Yeah, same.
And I love thinking, I can make this bigger, I could do this. And that can't be taught, that's just built into your head.
Totally.
I think.
Yeah, and someone will show me a house and I'll be like, oh my God, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. And I'm like, how do you see that? You know, all I see is these swirly whirly carpets. I'm like, give me a house with swirly whirly carpets and, you know, chipboard any day.
Like the one I showed you the other day.
Yeah, that was interesting.
The good news in that one, the landlord's changing the swirly carpets to grey.
Love it.
Obviously grey.
Yeah,
and he's painting
neutral.
all the walls to white. And then he said then he wants you to come back in there and have a look at it, see what you can do to dress it basically.
Yeah.
They are interested now.
Yeah,
so we're at the halfway. They're listening to one side of my argument, which is the painting and decorating.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get you in there.
And that's another service I offer too, you know, the painting side of things. So that's very therapeutic to me. I love painting.
You paint? Oh no, that's another thing. You can either paint or you can't. If I do one stroke, like it goes on the floor, I just get so annoyed. I just stop doing it.
Yeah.
So just don't paint. That's my one rule. Don't paint. People can do that. I don't mind knocking down walls and I fit a radiator recently. So
Oh, well done.
I know. So
might get around to fix mine.
I fit a whole radiator. Buying all the tools. I love it. I love trying to put my hand to things and just trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
Just not necessarily to save money. Like just because I want to know how to do it.
Same.
And I watch so many contractors do it over the years of houses.
Yeah.
It's like, I can give that a shot. I did it and it works.
One of the recent case studies that I was doing, there was a guy, that electrician there, and I was like, right, show me what you're doing. And he's like, why? I was like, 'cause I want to learn. And so I was going around then changing all the plug sockets with him.
So I had a contractor
watching me, but
I had a contractor rewire somewhere in my house and I was his mate doing it. So I was like doing all the labouring and watching him learn, because I will eventually do it. Obviously, don't tell it NIC, I see that, but I'll eventually do it. I reckon I could do it anyway. I've done loads of sockets and lights anyway. I love it all. With kids, it's hard though. With time, running a business is hard with kids. So yeah,
it is. It's difficult. But it's funny. My 6-year-old little girl, she's very much mini me, and she's also taken up her love for DIY. You know, when she was 4 at school, she'd come home with a car that she's made me, and her head teacher has actually said to me the one day, he was like, it's so funny, Esme will go at lunchtime to the workbench. She says, whereas all of her friends are off playing with dolls and everything, she'll go to the workbench, she'll put the glasses on, she'll put the apron on, and then she'll get the drill and she'll put it in the, what's the thing at the side, you know, where you twist it, I don't know what they're called, I don't know, to hold the bit of wood. There we go. Yeah, the thing. I'm very technical with my names. And we'll just start drilling, and so she'll come back with this little car that she'd made me. So yeah, she'll quite happily take apart her tables and chairs and put them back together and stuff. So.
I had this mini woodworking bench when I was a kid, and I used to make things on a mini lathe out of balsa wood. I've always been involved with that. So I've always been like a creator. And I always made things and watched my dad do things, and now I'm teaching my son how to do things. So when I fit the radiator, my son watched me do it.
Oh, that's good.
He loved that.
That's really good. Yeah,
he loved all that. So your company was called Domus before, and you said that was from the name of your house.
It was the name of my house. Yeah. So when we bought the house, it was the name of the property, and it was kind of inscribed on the little gate out the front, and I kind of wanted to utilise that because of the hell that we'd been through as a family with the builders, who was a so-called friend from school, actually.
I remember you saying this, actually.
Yeah, bad choice.
You live and learn, though, yeah?
You do live and learn.
It made you get to here. So it's probably a good thing it happened.
I'm
in
very
a really
grateful
crazy way.
for all of my experiences, yeah. And it was going through that, actually, that has got me to here.
There you go. So every single cloud has a silver lining, and I always try and find the positive.
Definitely.
So Domus, and now it's...
So Domus, Latin for home. So that's why I called it Domus, because it was, again, through that I kind of fell into it really. And then I started to get work in London and around the Midlands and further afield. And I thought, well, I've got bigger plans for this in the future, so I might as well start acting and bigger. And that's why I'm rebranding it to UK Property Stages.
So you attack the whole of the UK market?
Yeah, that's the plan.
So you've done work all over the UK now then?
Not all over, mainly a lot in London, Surrey.
I guess in London, there's a bit, the house values are higher, therefore they can afford to spend a bit more on the staging.
Yes, yeah.
And I guess Birmingham is naturally going that way.
Yes,
and just with like vendors looking at using it is great, isn't it? So what happened when you were in London? I heard some stories about some water.
So it was a property in Surrey. It was great. It was a great experience actually. The couple that owned it had moved out of the house years before. They'd moved to another part of the country, and they were renting it out. And it was a real lemon property. They couldn't sell it, and it just got to the point where they want rid of it. So she found me on Bark, and I said, yep, we'll go down and dress it. I sent her loads of pictures of previous work and that. And she was like, Melissa, that's great. So had it all arranged, rocked up with a few of the lads in the lorry down in London. They helped me down there. And as soon as we jumped out, the neighbours were straight out to me. Who are you? It was a real tiny road, dead end road, real beautiful little road, lots of terrace properties. And very nosy neighbours.
Yes, English people.
Yeah. What are you doing? Oh, they're dressing the property. Ha ha ha. You'll never sell that. They've been trying to sell it for 3 years. Good luck with that. Really negative, really pessimistic, really quite rude.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, no worries. Okay. Just smile, And so dressed it the Thursday and the Friday, and the Friday evening about 7:30 I was just about to leave to travel back to the Midlands. I was taking my two little ones to the pantomime on the Saturday, and as I was coming down the stairs, at the bottom in front of the wall was it was like a naked wall, and I thought, I've got a lovely picture that will really go well there and really tie in the lounge and the kitchen and the dining room and everything. And so when I got it out of the van, and there was a nail in the wall, and I thought, well, that's not in the centre of the wall. I'll have to put my own in. And as I removed the nail that was already there, pulled the nail out, this water just started spraying everywhere. And I was like, what the hell? What's going on here? Wow. Tried to put the nail back in. I wasn't having any of it. And I thought, so then I was putting my thumb over it, and the water was just, psst. I was like, I don't know what to do here. So I put the nail back in the wall, didn't stop the water. I ended up thinking, so I called the owner, who was up north, and I was like, running around trying to find the stopcock. I was like, where do I turn the water off? She's like, Melissa, I don't know. We've not lived there for years. I was like, okay, on the phone, going around under all the sinks and everything, couldn't find stopcock. And I was like, okay, no worries. I'll call you back in a minute. I'll see what I can do. So at that point then I started to go and get all the toilet roll and everything. And I just started hanging it over the nail. So any water that was coming out of the wall would just start to go into the toilet roll rather than dripping down the wall. But it got to the point where that was just soaked through. So then I was moving on to kitchen roll. And at that point then, all of the towels and everything I'd used across the 3 bathrooms, I was then getting back out and was putting it down on the floor, and then I was getting the plastic containers that I'd used to unpack them all underneath it as well, just to try and catch any water to protect the floor.
Disaster.
It was a complete disaster.
But did you fix it?
Of course, I never leave anything. But luckily, the guys that I'd worked in London with previously, I'd called him, and he was based up in Lincoln. So then I was on FaceTime with him going around the house. We were trying to follow where the water was, and it was all over the place, and managed to find the water out the front. So I was there pitch black, 9 o'clock or whatever, with the screwdriver, turned the water off thinking, That's fine. He managed to sort out a project manager to come and meet me at 7:30 the next morning to sort the wall out. So I came back the next morning, I put all the taps on just to check that all the water was out the system. They all started running again. And I was thinking, what's gone on here? Somebody's obviously come and put the water back on. Yeah. I turned it back off again. The next minute there's a knock on the door.
Oh, no.
There's a guy saying, my wife's in the shower. You turned the water off for the whole street last night.
Street stop tap.
I was like, but you've each got water stop tap outside each the front of the properties. And they were like, yeah,
Not
no, they don't work. I was like, oh my God.
If you take off some flats, you can do the whole building you want to go.
Yeah, the whole street went off. Yeah.
Did you sell the property?
Sold the property, yeah. They had numerous.
How happy were they?
They were over the moon.
And what did you do? Just like put beds, sofas, artwork?
I treat every property like it's my own. So
what is like the basics of dressing? So what you're doing?
So I just, some companies will offer different packages, whereas I just dress it luxury, because if I'm going to offer a service, I want to offer the best service to everybody. And yeah, it includes, everything that you'd see in
beds,
a beautiful
throws, pillows, cushions,
beds, throws,
artwork.
pillows, cushions, artwork,
Objet d'art,
lampshades, bedside units, console tables.
Do you fit shelving and to the walls? Are you fixing things to the walls?
Pictures, clocks, mirrors.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll tend to use light stuff because I don't want to be,
leaving marks there when you go.
Yeah. But all that's in the contract anyway.
And what is your typical home that you've been working with? What's like your go-to, or what you're famous for?
So it mainly started off just by vendors contacting me who were struggling with estate agents. I've got a lot of case studies where homes were on the market with 2 estate agents previously, and they found me or have heard of me through word of mouth, and I've just sent them pictures. And so I've helped a lot of people who were struggling with estate agents, and it was from that then estate agents started to get in contact with me saying, like, this is a really good service. So yeah, 2-bed bungalows, 3-bed terrace, 4-bed terrace. I've done, a few barns, large properties. From that, I've done apartments in the jewellery quarter. From that has stemmed from, well, what else do you do? So to the point of even now where it got to the point where I was showing people where they need to put sockets and just something which I just think, this is amazing. I can't believe I'm doing this as a job. I love it.
And it works
and then interiors all the way through right to dressing it. So yeah.
And it works with the lettings as well, I hear you say.
Yeah.
High-end rentals,
high-end
or difficult
rentals,
rentals,
or just normal average rentals. Yeah.
So basically, if someone's struggling to sell or they want to get the premium value,
yes.
I believe it doesn't have to be struggling properties, by the way.
No.
I believe if you've got the right model as a developer or a company that wants to flip properties, if you've got the right mindset, you go in straight away with like luxurious furniture and make it look amazing, you will get more money.
Absolutely.
And you've got some case studies on
and
here.
now sell.
And what are the figures we're increasing the values of in what have you noticed?
Some have gone for 55 grand over. Another one's gone for 65 grand over. Some have sold within 2 weeks after not having any second viewings within 6 months prior. So it varies.
And what that is tapping back into is the 93% of people who don't
and the click rates as well for estate agents.
Click rates is massive for estate agents.
Yeah.
We pride ourselves on a pretty hefty click rate, which we rank ourselves. Rightmove does it for us, and we rank really well for click rates.
Yeah.
Because our photos are good.
Yes.
We do a lot of sexy videos, like what we're on right now. And we use floor plans and we try and make properties look as good as possible.
Yeah.
And we're about to start, we're going to hopefully do a project with you and stage a property.
Yeah.
And because that house is a problem home, 3 agents have had it, not sold it. We're not even trying to sell it, we're trying to rent it.
Yeah.
We're trying to help him sell it at the same time. Yeah. So I think there's a massive market, and I think it's all about education. From our side as an estate agent, we've got to educate the vendors, haven't we?
Yeah, that's what it's
because
about.
I know it's not the cheapest service in the world, but imagine if it costs you 3 grand and it adds 20 grand to the value of your home.
And the way you've got to look at it as well is that majority of people will reduce their house by 20, 30 grand. For example, when it first goes on the market, you'll reduce your home more than what it costs you to stage your house. You know, so, you know, it might cost you $3 grand, $5 grand to stage your house, whereas most people will drop 20, 25, 30 grand if they can't sell the property.
We're seeing at the moment.
Yeah. And the way that people look at it is people that I've worked with have always seen it as an investment, and it is an investment. And that's how you've got to look at it, because you think, well, if I'm going to pay this amount of money, I know for a fact that I'm going to sell it quicker, and it's going to make me more money.
Because again, you're tapping into the resource of people that can't see anything. So if you can show them how amazing it can be, and I guess people end up buying the stuff off you. Do they ever buy it?
I've had a few, yeah. They were like, "Where's your furniture from?" And I was like, I collect it from all over.
You rent it and sell it. It's like absolute smasher.
Yeah. I don't use IKEA furniture either.
No, IKEA's stressful furniture.
Yeah.
Like
I'm really particular about the types of things I use. Like, I wouldn't use something that I wouldn't use in my own home.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I've seen some show homes, they're using the cheapest stuff that looks good. And it's not the best way, is it?
No.
It's not.
Other companies out there use cardboard boxes. Cardboard boxes and we'll make up a bed.
I've seen someone use blow-up beds.
Yeah.
And put sheets over it so you can't see, so they can transport it really easy.
Yeah.
Might be a good idea for you.
Yeah. To be fair, I've had to use a blow-up mattress once before because I couldn't physically get a double mattress
up the stairs
of the loft conversion.
Are you doing all the moving with your big muscles as well?
Yeah.
Smashing it.
Yeah, who needs the gym?
So, before we wrap it up, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want UK property stages to be?
UK?
UK wide?
Yeah.
Franchisees, franchisors, or just like keep it high quality and keep it within...
Yeah. It's my baby. It's something that I absolutely love, and I'd never want to give that away to anybody else, if that makes sense.
Business owners always have their first baby.
Yeah.
And they've got their business as well, so...
Yeah.
I've had Nets for a long time now, and it's definitely one of my kids.
Yeah.
I love it. I'd do anything for it.
Yeah.
We're all a bit mental, really, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
Business owners are not normal. But look, it's been lovely having you on.
Thank
we
you for
could
having
talk
me.
for hours, I think.
Yeah, no, I think we could.
It's gone real fast a time, but if you want to check out what Melissa does, there'll be a few links at the bottom of this of the video, and you can check out what she does. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right.